All right. Mrs. T, you ready?
I'm ready, honey.
Relationship. It's a dirty word for a lot of people. Are you in a relationship? What are your relationship skills? Well, if you think relationship is a dirty word, wait till you hear the language Mark and Linda use. They've been in a married relationship for over 30 years, which has led to some colorful exchanges and some meaningful breakthroughs. They've seen and been through it all. So if your relationship is more shun than relate, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Mark and Linda podcast. And here are your hosts, Mark and Linda.
Welcome in.
Here we are.
It is. I'm turning down the wrong one. There.
You can do this, baby. I know you can.
Well, I'm running the board for the first time in forever. Now, before we let the music get away, we've got our kids here. Matt's here, Amy's here, Katie's here. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Now,
Hey.
let's focus in on Matt. He's drumming on this theme.
I also played all the horns.
Oh, was that you?
That was me, yeah.
Didn't realize. Well, guys, look, thanks for joining us. This is going to be a podcast about family and about relationships. And as we've said, Linda and I have a uniquely odd relationship where we don't communicate like other people, but we have been married for 30 years. We have a strong, wonderful relationship, and we felt as though we may could help other people. And our kids are joining us here this morning. It's Uh-oh. Didn't realize it was going to start raining on us today, guys. It is kind of close to Halloween. Are you guys okay? Are you not scared, are you?
Wait,
You are so dumb.
Sound effect? What's happening?
What do you mean sound effect? No, it's actually raining. You guys huddle up with us. Y'all stay near. I don't know why you're...
Wait, was that for real? You pushing a button?
There's
There's a monster.
Oh, look. There's a house up on the hill up there. Let's go up there.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, hang up. Let's go up there by that. Wait a minute. I see something in the window.
Are we going there or not?
Why don't you come into the house?
All right, let's go into the house.
I'm not going in.
Me neither.
Wait, there's a guy sitting at an organ.
You can tell Dad's running the board. Good God.
Wait,
Now wait.
wait, there's somebody coming down the stairs.
Prepare to die.
All right, let's get out, guys. It's too scary this near Halloween.
Oh my goodness. So, really, I thought that we were having connection problems.
No, there's no connection problems. It was just kind of scary there. We got out of there just in time. Thank God for that. Now we can do the podcast.
Were you just so excited to play those, though?
Say it again?
Were you just so excited to play those? It was just fresh in your mind. You just couldn't wait.
I am telling you that this Inco screen that I've got, I can load any sound effect anywhere and just push. Wait a minute. There's a witch.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is
Dad.
what he was doing all afternoon yesterday.
I had a phone conversation with him about 2 weeks ago where he wouldn't stop doing the open and closing the door thing.
Oh, I haven't even used that yet. That's coming.
You just used it. I heard it.
All right, well, let's get into it now. Later at the bottom of the hour, Katie is going to join us. She is a weekly feature here on the program. It is Katie's Corner, and you're all ready for that, right, Katie?
Absolutely. I'm always ready for anything.
All right, and then Wednesday at the bottom of the hour, Matthew's going to join us with Matthew's Dungeon. Matt, do you have any clue as to what you're going to do with Matthew's Dungeon?
I was thinking this week I'd tell a spooky story.
Prepare to die.
sure this is not entertaining to anyone but the 5 of us.
All right, well, look, before I let you guys go, one of the things that you deal with...
Wait, we didn't talk to Amy.
Amy, how are you? Amy doesn't have anything to do on the show.
Amy, when are you going to decide what you're doing?
I'm not sure.
All right, well, look, one of the things that we deal with when you build a state-of-the-art studio is that equipment comes in black or gray. Linda wanted something pink.
Oh.
Things in broadcast, they don't come in pink. So if you want professional state-of-the-art stuff. Hey, Jordan?
Yo.
So we did secure something for Linda.
I'm working.
Well, yeah, but this is more important. So I got up on the internet.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, I did. You have no idea how hard this is to find.
Did it come from Amazon?
It did come from Amazon, which we're going to be getting into. Bought for you.
A pink chair! Yay! Oh my gosh, look how pretty and pink it is. Oh,
Well, you'll have to Instagram it immediately so we can all see.
I will.
Chair?
Yeah, Norm's been taking pictures.
Oh, and it's comfortable.
All right,
I want
good.
a pink chair.
And too bad. I got it.
All right. Katie, we'll talk to you in 30 minutes. Matt,
Okay.
Amy, thanks for joining us for the first one.
Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Bye, you guys.
Love
See you
ya.
Wednesday.
All right, if I push that, everybody... Wait, do you really want to drop? Yes, I want to drop. Okay. So later on this morning, we have a special guest, and Linda and I were having a glass of wine discussing the first show, and, you know, did we even want to have a guest for the first show? And it was Linda's idea that we go with a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of ours, quite frankly, John Waite.
Yay, John.
John is one of the iconic voices in rock and roll. And, you know, as we said, this podcast is about relationships. And this guy has had multiple relationships with bandmates, with ladies. And John has agreed to not only join us for the show, but to talk about and open up about the importance of relationships in your everyday life. So we're going to get into that. Today, as we said, we have John Waite. We're going to be doing Katie's Corner. We also have for you the first relationship scenario. Diane is married. Her husband has gotten fat, and it's a problem for her because she doesn't find herself turned on by him. So we're going to be speaking with Diane here momentarily. We've got a lot of time that we can kill here, so we're going to deal with a fun list that we've got.
A list?
Yeah. Well,
I was told there would be no lists.
Well, this is kind of a fun list in that I thought that we were going to be dealing primarily with former listeners of the Mark and Brian program. And while that's true, we are a worldwide broadcast.
That's us, baby.
People around the world are listening to this show. And so based on the information we have from the website, here are the following states that have the most members on the markandlinda.us website.
Okay.
Number 10, Michigan.
Wow.
Number 9, Hawaii. Number 8, New York. 7, Texas. 6, North Carolina.
Woohoo.
I think most of those are us. Number 5, Colorado. 4, Arizona. 3rd, Washington. 2nd, Oregon.
Let me pick number 1.
Go ahead.
California.
It is California. Well done. Now, if you hear anything during the program today that you want to call us about, our toll-free phone line is 888-973-3971. All of the numbers other than the 888 are on the outside corners. 888-973, and then the four corners, 3971.
Can I just interrupt you for a minute?
Of course.
In all of my happiness, I forgot to say thank you for my chair. I love my chair.
Well, good. It came from Amazon.com.
I know it did. Amazon.com comes to my house every day.
Norm, where'd you go?
He's asleep.
Norm has been working quite literally for 48 straight hours.
He hasn't even left the house since y'all got back on Monday. I'm beginning to worry about him.
Well, periodically we take him out for a walk, but he has worked for 48 straight hours to get this studio up and running, and he's done exactly that. So, Norm, thank you very much. Congratulations. So you're ready, Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get to know Jordan later this week. A lot of you know him from the website. Jordan Ryan, our producer, he's done a phenomenal job. And later, if we have time, we're going to give you, according to your activity on markandlinda.us, the top 10 members of the Mark and Linda podcast. And so, yeah, we can tell. By the way, if you're listening to us on iTunes and you decide, I like this, then you need to go to markandlinda.us and do a quick registration. And that way we will send you the podcast, the daily, Monday through Friday, Mark and Linda podcast, direct to your inbox. It's just that easy. All right, we're going to bring Diane up. Diane, good morning.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Good, and Linda's here as well.
Hello,
Yeah,
Diane.
hi, Linda. That's who I called to talk to anyway.
Oh.
Well, let's get into it. This podcast is about relationships. And Diane, we're going to read the email that you sent. Those of you that are on Mark and Linda, you've seen that request help from Mark and Linda. Diane did that. And so we chose hers because we felt as though this was a bit universal. So, Diane, I'm going to read this, and then we're going to talk about it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Diane writes, hubby and I have been married 35 years, lived in Southern California until 2003, then moved to Greenville, South Carolina. Hubby has put on some weight, and I'm not turned on by him. I don't want to have sex with him. He drinks rum and Coke every weekend, which is pure sugar. He's always been a lean machine, but after 50, downhill. I work out regularly. I keep my trim physique looking like I did 25 years ago.
Yep.
He has no desire to work out except with a TV remote, and we're going on a cruise on October 28th. Help me. So, how long has this been the case with him?
Oh, I really have to work at wanting to be with him for the last year. He looks like he's like 8 months pregnant.
Now, do you still love him?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to talk here
Okay.
because this happened to us. And I told Mark, and I will never forget the look on his face, and I will never, ever, ever tell that to anyone ever again. Because it was just devastating for him. And I didn't say it in a mean way. I mean, I actually sat down and talked to him about it. And even after I said it, he still didn't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. He did something about it when he was ready to do it.
Well, I can tell you when it happened for me. A buddy was in North Carolina here, and I was walking around the boat with my shirt off, and he took a photograph that I saw later. And at first I thought, who is that fat guy? And then I realized it was me.
Yeah, Mark gained 40. He was 42 pounds overweight, and at a couple of times I would look at pictures and he looked like Santa Claus to me.
Now, Diane, I did do something about it. Many of you on the website know that I've been doing P90X, and I lost 40 pounds, and I'm in the best shape of my life. But let's get further into your thing. Have you spoken to your husband about this problem?
I have. I'm concerned about his health because he's 59 now, and I'm 56. And, you know, we're not spring chickens anymore. And out here, we bought property with, well, we thought it was a lot of land. It's an acre. So we work the land a lot. But it's getting harder and harder. And one of the things and traits that I love about my husband is when I met him, it's what you see is what you get. He's no phony. He doesn't pretend to be anybody he's not. But then that almost drives me crazy sometimes.
If you're listening to this and you have a concept, if you have an idea, if you have a thought, our toll-free phone line is 888-973-3971.
Now, I did discuss this with Lee last night, and he had some ideas.
Wait, discuss what with, and who is Lee? Is that your husband?
Yeah.
He had some ideas about what?
Oh, what he can do to lose weight.
Now, let me ask about the sex. You say you're not turned on and you're dreading this high seas cruise you've got because you know it's going to come up. So, sexually speaking, does he have a strong libido? Does he want to have sex with you?
Yes. he does.
And what do you do and say when that comes up?
Literally. Well, lately I've just, I have accepted his advances, but I'm not initiating anything like I used to.
Well, when Mark lost his weight, we have so much more sex now, it's just not even funny.
Well, it's absolutely true, and some of the positions that you can move yourself into are uniquely odd when you don't have that belly hanging off of there.
Yeah.
Have you said the words to him like, the fact that you've gained weight has started to affect my libido? Have you done that?
Yes.
What did he say to that?
I don't really think he had an answer for that.
And so that didn't wake him up? That didn't...
No. You need to call and ask him.
Now, do you think he would be accepting of our call?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have his phone number, Jordan?
I can, if you want to put her on hold, I'll get it from her.
All right, we're going to put you on hold for a second, and Jordan's going to grab your husband's phone number. We'll talk with him and see what he has to say, okay?
That sounds good.
All right, I reach out and I do that, and according to my screen, Jordan, she's on hold.
I'll grab her.
All right, so thoughts at this point, Mrs. T?
I just think that he's only going to lose weight when he's ready to lose it. That's all there is. I mean...
But she came out and said the words.
I told you all that, too, and
Well,
it took you a year before...
I know, but I don't think you said, I'm not turned on by you, fat man.
Oh, but you don't say that.
Well, I think she kind of did.
I don't think she said it in those words.
But I'm sure not those words. But, well, it'll be interesting because we're going to get...
I don't want to ambush Lee, though.
No, Lee knows we're calling.
Okay, all right.
I gathered by the way that Diane was talking that Lee knows. She said we spoke about this last night. We're not going to ambush.
Okay.
We're going to be very, very kind.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get Diane back up. Diane, you there?
I am.
Okay, I think we're trying to get Lee. Let me jot that down because I'm old and I forget things.
We've got CRS in our home as well.
Well, congratulations on that. All right, we're going to get him up momentarily. Jordan, are we there?
He's on hold, line 2.
All right, here we go. Lee, how are you?
I'm good.
Lee, this is the Mark and Linda podcast. You may remember me from the former Mark and Brian program.
I do.
My wife and I are now doing a podcast, and you guys are our first relationship scenario. We've been talking with Diane about the problem that's currently going on. Are you aware of it?
Oh, yeah. Been aware of it a long time.
So let's get into it now. I mean, why do you think it is that you've gained all this weight?
Well, it started when I quit smoking.
A lot of people say that, yeah. All right, go ahead.
But, and now, we used to cook for 4 people, and now it's just the 2 of us, and I guess I'm eating a lot more than I should be.
Well, look, Diane has already said she loves you to death. But she finds, and obviously she, as she said in her email when she first contacted us, she works out, she keeps herself in great shape. And when it comes time for sex, which you still like to have sex, don't you, Lee?
Oh, yeah.
And
I complain about that a lot.
What do you complain about?
Not getting enough.
How often do you guys have sex?
Well, if I'm lucky, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, but lately I've been getting a little bit more often.
Well, Lee, here's the thing. Your wife has said to you, I find it difficult to find myself turned on with you having all this weight. She said that to you.
Yeah.
And here you are complaining that you don't have enough sex. The answer has really been already handed to you, Lee.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
Yeah, if you want to have more sex with your wife, and she wants to have... There's nothing wrong with your libido, right, Diane?
No.
Okay.
But we've been kind of...
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, honey. We kind of live with the, if you want the poontang, you take the poontang.
Well, yeah, it's true, but Lee, do you not... I mean, I would have to assume that you want your wife ravenous for you. You want her crawling all over you. And, I promise you, Lee, if you drop some of this weight and you start working out, you're going to find more poontang than you can handle.
I can promise that too.
Yeah, we've Lee, you weren't on the phone, but I gained 40-something pounds myself. Linda had a problem with it. I started working out, lost the weight, and we have a wonderfully healthy sex life.
And Mark looks good.
So, Lee, look, the whole thing is really kind of up to you. Diane has spoken to you and said, I got a problem. You have said, I also have a problem. I don't get laid enough. The answer, Lee, is really, really simple, and it fixes both your problems.
But I have a problem with going to gyms and working out.
Lee, all you got to do is start eating the right kind of food and do some sort of workout.
Just start by walking.
You've got your wife who's told you, I'm not turned on by your fat body. And you've said, I'm not getting laid enough. The answer is stop eating and start working out.
And then you'll get laid more. There we go. We fixed it. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate that.
Listen, Diane, do us a favor. Would you report back in a couple of 3 months and let us know if Lee has done anything about this?
Hey, I have lost a little bit of weight.
Oh, well, that's great.
Well, you got this cruise coming up, and she would love to climb your bones, but she's got to be able to get to them.
I ain't that fat, my God.
All right, well, listen, you guys, you're fun people. It's obvious you love each other. You were able to have a good communication about this. I'm absolutely positive Lee's going to do something about that. And Diane, do you do the cooking in the house?
Well,
No.
I quit cooking when we moved out here.
No, good for you.
Well, look, Diane, I can tell you that my wife watches, like, for example, I'm the cook in the house, but she's the one that finds the recipes. She goes and buys the ingredients, and she prepares them, then I cook them. So she monitors what we eat, and we eat crazy healthy. Diane, you should maybe help your husband by starting to watch what he puts in his mouth and give him the evil eye if he orders up the chicken fingers and the French fries.
Oh, I don't do chicken fingers and French fries.
Yeah, you're doing something that has a cow in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love steak.
His portions are too healthy and they're not balanced.
Okay.
He'll eat one meal a day.
Lee, listen, if you want to get laid, lose the weight. Diane, you'll report back to us, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Linda and Mark.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. All
Bye,
right.
Lee. Love you.
Bye, Lee. Love you.
Love you all.
All right, well, we'll get a report back from them at some point. That was Lee and Diane. You heard their scenario. And,
What is this music we're listening to?
We're about to take a break.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'm new to this. I'm like, what's happening now?
Linda, I haven't run the board in 30 years. You think it's new
So
to
you're
you?
new. You're new too.
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Wait, what does it take a break mean? Are you about to do a commercial?
Well, we both kind of are.
Oh.
Yeah. Momentarily, we're going to be speaking with John Waite, the great John Waite, and I've got a feeling it's going to be very, very interesting. But when we come back from our little commercial break, where are my promo? They're there. When we come back, we will have the first ever Katie's Corner.
The great Katie.
Yeah. So join us. We'll take just a little bit of a business break and be right back. This is the Mark and Linda Podcast. All right. Now, we don't have any commercials per se, but we do have sponsors. The first being Amazon.com.
That comes to my house every day.
Well, I got to tell
Because you shop like a chick.
I shop like a man. I don't go out to stores and pick things up thinking I might find something. When I buy, it's because I know exactly, specifically what I want because I've researched it. And I then go to Amazon.com. Why? Because they have literally everything. Everything you could want to buy is at Amazon.com. And I do, before I get into this, I do want to say thank you, Amazon, because they are sponsoring the entire world of podcast. They're friends to the world of podcast, and that we appreciate. Now, once you've gone to Amazon and you do your quick sign up, you give your shipping address, your business address, your credit card information.
Look at you, pro.
What?
You know how to fill out the Amazon form.
I do. And I'm telling you, once I know what I'm going to buy, I go to Amazon, I buy it, and I'm out of their website in 60 seconds. That's how quick it is. Now, they have joined forces with the Mark and Linda podcast. Up on the Mark and Linda website, either now, is it up now, Jordan, or do you know?
What?
The Amazon thing.
No, it will be after the show.
Okay. Here's what we want you to do. If you're going to shop Amazon, come to the Mark and Linda podcast website, markandlinda.us, Mark with a K, Linda with a Y. You're going to see an Amazon banner there. Click on that. It's going to take you directly to Amazon. And then when you do your shopping, it'll be the same as always, but you're doing it under the Mark and Linda banner. And we get a little bit of a kickback.
Yeah, to help pay for this studio.
Yeah, hey, look, we made the investment. These are our sponsors. And I told Bob Moore, who's our general sales manager, I said, Bob, Linda and I are never going to take advertising from somebody we don't believe in. I believe in Amazon.com. Every time I buy, it comes straight to my door. It's exactly what I ordered. It is completely perfectly shipped and packed. It's never broken. I have never had, other than Consumer Reports, who I also love, but they're not a sponsor, so screw them. I've never had a better experience than I have with Amazon.com. So if you're going to shop, and I'm telling you, anything you want is right there at Amazon.com. If you're going to shop, don't go to Amazon.com. You come to markandlinda.us. You click on that Amazon banner, and you will be helping us by doing that. We'll be back with Katie's Corner in 30 seconds.
Mark and Linda's help with your relationship issue. Help is just a click away. Simply go to markandlinda.us. That's Mark with a K, Linda with a Y.us, and click Help. We can help you in two ways. First, you can go on air with Mark and Linda to receive personal help, or two, simply write up your issue and Mark and Linda can comment on what might help you. Again, go to markandlinda.us and click Help. Mark and Linda, they're not therapists, but a married couple of 30 years, and they still like each other. And now, back to Mark and Linda.
Welcome back in. It is the inaugural first Mark and Linda podcast. Just had our first relationship scenario. Went pretty well, I thought.
I thought we did excellent.
Yeah, we really did. If you have comment, our toll-free phone line is 888-973-3971. 888-973-3971. Before we get to Katie's Corner, and Katie, you're there, right?
I'm right here. So
Okay.
excited.
Jordan, did you have something?
Yeah.
Hang on, that's guest mic number 3. Go.
All right, so a lot of people on the Ustream are freaking out because there are commercials that are popping in.
Right.
Some people in the chat room are already talking about dropping $3.99 on Ustream for a user subscription. Do not do that unless you like Ustream. All that money goes to Ustream. We know about the commercials, and we will have a fix. I want it done this afternoon. We'll have a solution to
Ladies
get the
and
commercials
gentlemen,
out of there.
the great Jordan Ryan. Excellent job, Jordan. Excellent job.
So we know about now. The other thing, I know it interrupts our show, so that's why we're getting them out. But the show will also be available for download. Apple hasn't posted it to their iTunes store yet, but after the show, we'll have instructions on the website on how you can manually add the show to your iTunes, just like you went through the iTunes store.
Okay, that's business from Jordan Ryan. Okay, Katie.
Yes.
This is the first Katie's Corner, and I've got...
Welcome to Katie's Corner.
Well, wait, I got a whole intro now.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Go for it. I'll do it again.
I'm going to do the intro, but now when you're going to swap from the story that we've just done to the next story, I got this. Okay? So hopefully I'll know. But, okay, here we go. The first official, here we go. It is time now for Katie's Corner. Now, this is news and information from the world of Hollywood relationships and whatever else Katie decides to talk about, because this is our daughter, our youngest, Katie's Corner. We're ready, Katie.
All right. So, first things first. Taylor Swift's new album came out last night, and it's rockin'. Now, it's pretty much the same Taylor Swift that you're expecting to get, but a little bit sappier. So she's obviously got some relationship stuff going on. Now, before I get into relationship stuff with Rihanna and Chris Brown, which is pissing me off, I want to talk about how Taylor Swift can keep her life. So, because we know Taylor Swift, but we don't know anything about her life.
Wait,
she
Kate.
keeps it so under wraps.
All right, Katie, wait. You went from Taylor Swift's new album to her life. I got to give you this. All right, go.
There it is. Okay. Now, that's just something that I was observing that I wanted to bring to the table.
Wait,
I wish that I knew all the dirt on Taylor Swift, but she's too private about it.
Well,
maybe there isn't any.
Well, this girl, she dated John Mayer.
Yeah.
That went bad. She dated
That was
one
weird.
of the...
I didn't ever understand that, because she was like 20, and he was like 27.
She dated one of the pretty boys,
One of the Twilight people.
Twilight guys. And now she's in love with a Kennedy, and she bought a house right across from where he lives.
But that could just be, she could have just bought that house, and then they were like, okay, yeah, we're going to put that in a magazine and say that they're dating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Like I don't know if I buy it.
But you like the Taylor Swift album. Have you listened
I love
to
the Taylor Swift album. Yeah, it's really great.
You listened to the whole thing?
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing. I listened to it last night. I listened to it this morning. It's got some good songs on it. Ed Sheeran is featured on it, which is, I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yeah, I know who
he's
that
this
is.
really hot redhead guy who plays a guitar and makes teens swoon. But now, okay, you ready, Dad?
Yeah,
we're going to move to a new topic. Perfect. Rihanna and Chris Brown are getting back together, and it ruins Rihanna for me.
Yeah,
I am a huge Rihanna fan, and I don't want to listen to her music because she went back to this guy who beat the hell out of her.
You know what? I look.
It's so serious to me. Like, it's not even just oh, it's Hollywood, whatever. Like, that's don't be stupid.
Look, I saw the photographs of her. He beat it, right? Allegedly. Is it allegedly?
Oh, yeah, no. The police report came out. You can read it. It's awful.
He beat the shit out of her.
Yep.
And yet she goes back to this guy. I kind of don't understand that, because somebody once said to me, or I read it, somebody who's going to beat a woman, usually they beat them, and then they come back and they're crying, and I'm sorry, and it'll never happen again. And then it happens again because they're wired that way. My question is, what is she doing?
Well, I think probably growing up there was some of that in her house.
Wow.
So then wouldn't you want to run from it? Why are you running to it?
Well, you're talking sane there.
Yeah.
Right.
This is beyond sane. This is...
Oh, and to just put the cherry on top, Chris, he's got a little bit of a girlfriend.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of a girlfriend there.
I'll tell you what was equally as sad is her acting ability in the movie Battleship. Holy crap.
Was it bad?
Oh, got it. The movie sucked. She sucked. Everybody sucked. I sucked because I was sitting there watching it.
Oh, I didn't suck. I didn't go see it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. All right, hang on, Katie.
So, Katie, I can tell that how's your cold doing? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel like my head, it may just explode, and snot is just going to cover my walls.
There, that's a pleasant
Linda,
That's pretty much where I am.
Linda, do you know that we're in the middle of Katie's corner and you're bringing up...
Hey, this is my corner. I can talk about my snot if I want.
Oh, my gosh. There we go.
Whatever I want, Dad. You better hold your horses there. Hey, and to all of those listeners who were like, I don't want to hear about the Kardashians, we're going to be talking about that too.
Oh, yes,
so
we
we're
are.
Just prepping you for that.
And they're going to... They've already shot the Miami one, right?
Yeah, they're shooting it, but it hasn't aired yet.
No.
I don't know the exact date for that. I really should.
Okay, it's in... I can tell you, darling, it's in January.
Okay. So glad you know that.
Well, Katie, excellent job. We'll be doing Katie's Corner each and every Monday at the same time. And if you want to chat with Katie, she's always in the website, markandlinda.us, Mark with a K, Linda with a Y. If you're getting us on iTunes and you want to get the podcast each and every day, just go to the website, get signed up, and we'll ship it right to your inbox each and every day. Katie, you did a fantastic job.
Yes, you
This
did,
is so exciting,
darling.
y'all. This is so fun.
Well, good job, girl. We'll see you next Monday.
And feel
All
better.
right. I will. Thank you so much.
Love ya.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to spend some quality time and speak with the great.
Wait, where are we going?
We're going to take our next commercial break so we can get ready for John.
Is this about Amazon too?
No,
We have two different.
we do. We,
Aren't we something?
Linda, did you miss a meeting? Or?
Dang. I ain't been to one of your meetings.
Oh, it cracked me up. I did a blog where was talking about the demo podcast is tomorrow morning at whatever, and Linda said right after, is it really? How exciting! Good Lord. So when we come back, we're going to be speaking with the great John Waite. Prepare yourselves. He's a friend, and you will thoroughly enjoy what you hear from the man. Back right after this, it is the Mark and Linda Podcast. All right, as we said, Amazon is a friend because they have embraced the podcast world, and so has our friends at GameFly. Now, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a gamer. I don't play video games. The one video game that I played...
Oh, wait, I thought P90X was a game.
It is not a game. Not the way I play it. I'm not a gamer. I had one video game. It was a computer game. It was a Dracula game. The graphics were so incredible. And I got so addicted to it. Jordan, I'm telling you, I would wake up. It was one of those things where you have to figure out a problem before you can go to the next room. I would wake up at 2 a.m, knowing I got to get up at 4 to go to the Mark and Brian program. And I would think, if I got up right now, I could play for 2 hours.
And sometimes you did.
I did. That's how addicted I got. Now, those of you that are gamers, or especially those of you that are parents and you have a gamer in your life, a kid, then you know. You go to the store and you pay $70, $80, $90 for a brand new video game. They take it home, they play it, they figure it out in 3 days, and it's never going to be used again. Then go to GameFly. They have, it's kind of the Netflix of video games. They have a thing where they will send you, I think it's 3, you pay the monthly fee. They'll send you 3 video games. Play them to your heart's content. There's no late fee. There's no penalty. There's no date. You've got to have it back under a certain time. You play it as long as you want. You send them back, and they send you 3 more. Now, if that sounds good to you, there is a 2-week free trial. All you have to do is go to markandlinda.us, Mark with a K, Linda with a Y.us, click on the GameFly banner. It'll take you to their website under our name, and you sign up and you get that 2 weeks. There's no obligation of any kind. They firmly believe that if you do that for 2 weeks, you're going to love it so much, you're going to become a subscriber. Because it's exactly what I just told you. No late fees, no penalties. They have games for every single type of video game. Where'd it go? Hang on.
Are you on your computer again, Dad?
Yeah, god damn it. Oh, PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, and now your PC. And Jordan's giggling at me. So, go. Take your 2 free weeks. If you love it, sign up. If you don't, there's no obligation. You simply walk away. We'll be back with John Waite right after this.
Hey, want to join in on the Mark and Linda podcast? It's easy. Just go to markandlinda.us and click Listen Live. That's Mark with a K, Linda with a Y.us. You can call us at 888-973-3971. That's 888-973-3971. We're tweeting at Mark and Linda, and we're on Facebook at facebook.com/markandlinda.us. The podcast streams live weekdays 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's the Mark and Linda podcast, making the world all lovey-dovey, one relationship at a time. And now back to
And it was true, John. And
I love you, man.
Linda and I were sitting with wine, and we were discussing what we wanted our first show to be. Did we want it to be, without a guest? And it was Linda who said, it's obvious that the first guest needs to be John.
Well, yeah. Hello, John.
Linda. Linda, how you doing?
I am great, thank you. How are you?
Oh, the same, Mark, how are you doing?
Johnny, dude, I've got a state-of-the-art studio in our home, and we're doing our first podcast, and I didn't have to get in L.A. traffic to get to the studio. I'm bitching, my friend.
Wow, that's great. That's really great.
Now, John is joining us today, and I told John when I called him about doing this, I said, now, Johnny, we're going to get into some relationship stuff.
Oh,
and John said to me, he said, I'm always in favor of a little bit of honesty. Now, I got to tell you, the relationship that John and I have is twofold. One of the things that I love about my relationship with John is that I really can't stand small talk. And when John and I get together, we talk about real, genuine, down-to-the-heart stuff.
true.
It is true. Yeah. And we also have evenings of debacle. I'll tell you this one quickly. I was going to Morgan Freeman's Christmas party. I did some work for Morgan, so I was invited to his Christmas party. And so the party was going to be in Santa Monica, which is where John lives. So I let John know, hey, John, I got this party I'm going to. Join me at the Shutters Hotel for dinner. So John comes, and we start out with the cocktails, and they keep flowing. And I said to John, hey, do you think you might want to go to this party with me? And he said, yeah. So I immediately knew where this was going, and I ordered a car.
Downhill.
So
Downhill, my friend.
So we finished dinner. The car comes. We continue drinking. We go to Morgan's party. We had the best time. We both got plastered. I go back to the Shutters Hotel. I go in my room. I prepared myself for bed. I got to get up and do the Mark and Brian program the next morning. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I was so out of it that I slept the entire night with my frickin' hotel room door wide open. And then we called John the next morning on the program, and John's quote I loved. He said, I woke up upside down.
Yeah, with my Doc Martens on. I mean, I didn't even manage to get my boots on. I mean, I staggered in and it just went black. But a great night, though. That was a great night.
It was a great night. But we don't always do that. We do sit down and we talk about a lot of things that are meaningful. We talk about things that a lot of people don't discuss, and it's one of the things that I like. So, John, for the first time ever, because whenever you were on the Mark and Brian program, it was still always kind of nice, and we never really kind of got into stuff. And Linda's already warned me, John, she's not going to say a lot during this interview.
Oh, really?
Even though she's sitting here.
Well, I've been trying to, and I can't
get a word in.
No, not with the two of y'all.
Sorry. Apologies from both of us already.
It's okay. I knew this was how it was going to be.
Oh, no, come on.
Now, John, let's begin at the beginning. Those of you that just joined us, this is the Mark and Linda podcast. This is the great John Waite. In my opinion, this man, and he's very humble, and he always gets embarrassed when I start getting into it, but this is a guy that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I want to go back, John, to the beginning. I want to go back to the dating in a band like that. Must have been crazy. But now, as a seasoned veteran, as you look back on that, what do you think you might have changed about the way you communicated with those guys?
Well, I look back on it, and I have to say that I don't know how I managed it. I don't know what I did that was so adult. I mean, the guitar player wouldn't speak to me. And for like 5 years, we probably had like 30 conversations.
Now, why is that?
I have no idea. I never even got to know him. I mean, it was kind of like he was very remote and very distant. And if I was in a band with somebody like that now, I'd just confront him and say, either be straight ahead or there's the door, So it amazes me looking back on it how patient I must have been. Or maybe I was holding all the cards. I mean, to be fair about it, I don't really know, but I was writing all the songs. So I think it was probably, jealousy or maybe on both parts. I have no idea. I mean, but you look back on that and you think, how did I at 23 navigate through all of that craziness? But somehow, I guess the music carried us through.
Well, uniquely odd that you talk about it in that way. When the babies broke up, was it a nasty breakup?
No, it was, there was, when the second babies broke up, we the guitar player I'm talking about left the band, and we got two guys in, and we had a bass player, and I stopped playing bass, and we had a keyboard player, Jonathan Caney, went on to join Journey, and at the end, we were just up against the world, really, and John went off and joined Journey, and it killed us, really. But it was, I think it started to fall apart for the first time. Me and Tony, the drummer, were almost in fist fights and stuff, and there was a lot of silences and a lot of door slamming and a lot of, I didn't know what was going on. I was just a singer writing songs, but we didn't seem to be going anywhere suddenly. I thought about it the other day. The last tour we did, it was half a house. The places weren't selling out.
Mm.
And I think it came at a time, I had an accident on stage and bust my knee up, and that was the end of the tour, which effectively was the end of everything, really. But I told the band if we didn't start selling records, it was done. I didn't want to end up playing down market. We'd done so well. I wanted to leave it on a high note,
All right, so the Babies come to an end, and you then moved into your solo career, which brought some of the best work of your career with this song right here. And
Missing it, yeah.
yeah, and you were doing so well solo. Why did you then decide that you wanted to join up with yet another band, the supergroup Bad English?
Well, I think I'd made 4 albums, solo albums, after leaving the Babies. And I'd run out of things to say. I was becoming self-conscious. I was getting to the point where I was writing about myself, and I was living in this big house in Westchester in New York, and spending all my time in Manhattan, really. And I was I had done it. I always wrote very kind of seriously. I never took anything lightly. I was very concerned with what I was trying to say and how I said it. And in fact, we've just done a live album, and I cut one of the songs, Wild One, that was on the last solo album. We did that on the live album, and I was amazed at the lyric and where the lyric went to and what I was referencing, and it was really a beautiful piece of work. But at the time, I couldn't see that. I was too close. And having such a high standard, I guess, when you're trying to be a solo guy, it's the bar is raised. I felt I'd be better off in a band. I think that I am kind of very self-critical. And then I thought I just painted myself into a corner. I thought I'd try something that was the exact opposite. I thought that would push me into better work.
But John, some of that nasty ugliness that showed itself in the Babies, as far as some of the infighting, showed itself with Bad English, did it not?
Well, it's just 2 entirely different mindsets on making music. And they're great musicians. They really are great musicians. It's just that I take the writing. When you write in the first person, like, another one of your favorite songs is Masterpiece of Loneliness, you couldn't write that in Bad English. And you couldn't, because it's too dark. And it's very kind of suicidal, and it's really romantic. It's like country music. But that would be too much for Bad English. You'd have to temper it. And in the end, I couldn't temper the work anymore. I couldn't be on the verge of something that was like really gonna be a step forward for me, and then put it to one side just to keep the peace. It was like democracies sometimes don't make great art.
John, let's talk about what I really want to talk about. As I've said, the Mark and Linda podcast is about relationships, and
sure.
I know that you have had many relationships with many. many.
Well, now you mention it, yeah, there's been a few.
Now,
oh my God!
Look, for a guy like you, John, it is a vicious cycle, because I look at you as a broken heart.
Well,
but look, here's the problem. The things that you've experienced in your relationships are what fuel your creativity as a writer.
That's true.
Some of the stuff that this guy has written, many of you have never heard. And John mentioned it just a second ago. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute, because I want to play for you a little piece of a genuine genius piece of music that this man that we're talking to right here wrote and performed. And I've asked John, one time when I'm at a live show, I want you to sing that. And he goes, Mark, the entire front row would commit suicide. I can't sing that. All right, so I want you.
We can't have that.
We
can't have that.
We're going to play a little bit of this. This is John Waite. This is called Masterpiece of Loneliness. Now, John, before I share one last piece of music and get you out of here, this next piece of music came off of your latest album, Rough and Tumble. And you get from John exactly what you think you're going to get. You get the rock and roll, and I love the rock and roll. The title track, Rough and Tumble, is phenomenal. But there is a ballad. This man that we're talking to, John Wade, is a master balladeer, as you just heard from Masterpiece of Loneliness. And he wrote a song, and I'm not going to share who it's about. I know, but that's private. This guy took the heartbreak of a relationship he just got out of, and he was able to put it down in words. And I asked John one night while we were having one of those meaningful conversations, why don't you write more often? And he said, because it's simply too painful. John, as you look back in relationships that you've had with women, is there a part of you that goes, this is where I screwed up. This is what I could have done better?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we are in some deep water here, and it's very personal. But I would say that when you fall in love with somebody, the threat to yourself is enormous. You find it in women. When women fall in love, they start to back away. And because the cost is just, what's on the table is enormous. It's your life, and that's why I think there is such a lot of heartbreak in relationships, because when you're playing for keeps, unless you've got the exact right personality to contact that person at all times, emotionally, it'll just blow up. It's self-preservation, and I think that if you love somebody, you should just tell them. And I think keeping quiet or trying to be guarded is really the wrong thing to do. I have to say, your relationship with Linda is a wonder to me, that you're so in love with your wife, and that your wife loves you, and that you have great kids, and you've made it all work. I think it's a fantastic thing. I've had a very happy life, really. There's a couple of things that blew up in front of me that brought me down at the time, but it gave me some great stuff to write about. And I believe in love completely. I might go to the shop today and bump into somebody, and my life turns 360. Who knows what's going to happen? But it's just that I think everybody goes through it. Bruce Springsteen said everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody's been messed up. It's just rites of passage. If you don't get messed up, what kind of person are you?
Well, it kind of goes what I said, because for John and for people that are of a genius talent.
Wow, man, that's incredible of you to say that, but I appreciate it.
Well, one of the things that
say it again if you want.
I'm talking to a genius.
Oh my God.
Well,
yeah.
John stepped out of a relationship that quite literally floored him. And we've all been there, where the breakup comes and we are devastated. The other person seems to be kind of okay. And John wrote this song that the moment that I heard his album, this is the one piece of music that absolutely floored me, because I said John is a master balladeer. But those of us that have been in that scenario where we do the breakup, we're devastated, they're okay, and then comes that phone call from that person. And I want you to listen to the lyrics of this. And I didn't choose John's version. I chose the cover version by a country group called Love and Theft.
Love them.
Yeah, and they're going to probably hit. They're going to probably hit number one with this. But I want you to listen, because in the lyrics, John perfectly wrote this phone call that comes where the guy that's devastated is saying all the things that he thinks he should say, but in his head, he's thinking about the way it actually is. This is called If You Ever Get...
I can't believe you played that. That's so great you played that version.
Oh, I could have gone with yours, which I love, but
No, that's had its moment. But I think they're going to do... They have number one single with their first single, Rebel Eyes.
Yes.
They're nominated for the Duo of the Year in country music.
Yes.
They're up against Big and Rich and I don't know, somebody else that's really big. So they're in with a shot, but there's only 3 people have been nominated, so we'll see what happens.
Well, John, I mean, look, as we said, the Mark and Linda podcast is about relationships. Relationships are where we live. Are you ever going to be a guy that can settle down and get married and have kids and live a domestic life?
There's nothing I want more. I think I was, I almost got married a couple of years ago again, and I was set for parenthood, really. I was going to give everything up and just do that. I probably wouldn't have toured again or made the last album. I think we all want a home. I mean, I mean, no matter what we say. I don't think I'm so crusty and beat up with the world that I don't, think it's going to happen. But you never know. I mean, you really don't,
John,
Hey, listen, I got to tell you a story. Quick.
Yeah.
Tim was doing some work on his house, and he was, my bass player, Tim Hogan,
Right.
and he's got like the full outfit on. He's got the working man's tool belt, the whole thing is covered in crap and plaster and cement dust, right? And he pulls up at a light yesterday, and Brian pulls up next to him in a black Range Rover.
Yeah.
And there's this uncomfortable sort of like 5 seconds where they look at each other. and then the light changed. And Tim just drove off. He just couldn't be bothered to explain what he was doing, covered in shit, But I just had to tell you this story because I just found out this morning. It made me laugh.
Well, speaking of that, I have to share another story dealing with Brian and his black Range Rover. I was late one morning for the show, for the Mark and Brian program. I'm on La Cienega. I'm going to be late, and our bumper music is playing at the top of the hour, but I'm kind of okay because I'm sitting 3 lights away from the radio station, and I'm okay because I know that Brian's there, and he's going to take it, and he'll talk until I get there. So I'm okay. So I'm sitting at the red light, and then next to me pulls up a black Range Rover, and I look over, and it's Brian.
Oh my God.
All right, wait a minute. John, we're going to take one phone call before we get you out of here. This guy is one of our top members in markandlinda.us. We're going to take his phone call. He wants to speak with you. On with us is Greg Stanford. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, John. Pleasure to talk with you. Linda, not so much.
Hey.
Oh,
Just kidding. Great, loving the show.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, John, I saw you with the babies at the Coliseum back in July of '80 for a summer blowout.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was great.
Like 110 degrees, Journey, Black Sabbath, Cheap Trick, Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a great show.
And the great thing about that is nobody wanted to listen to the babies. So we were able to push right to the front of the stage.
Is that a backhanded compliment? Slash was at that show.
Yeah, I had a
Slash said
question. I think in 1984 you released, it was on Laserdisc back then, believe it or not, No Breaks Live Tour.
That's right, yeah.
Has
in
that ever been
Philadelphia.
ported over to DVD? I've never seen it on...
I have no idea about that. I mean, it came and went pretty fast. We just did a live album in Philly again. For some strange reason, I forgot about doing that in Philly. We did that at the Tower Theatre. And, but we just did a live album in South Philly. I'm leaving to mix it on Wednesday, so things go full circle,
John, joining us real quickly, and then we're going to get you out of here. Our producer, Jordan Ryan, he's been watching the chat room from markandlinda.us, and I asked him just to step up. What is the chat room saying, Jordan?
They are eating it up. They're loving it. It's really unbelievable. There have been a few bad words said about you, about me, about Linda. They hate us, but they love
They
John.
love John.
They love John.
Let's not forget Brian.
I had to brush a few pairs of panties off my laptop to
Really?
resume chatting. Oh my God,
Wow.
they're going nuts. Yeah.
Hey, John, let me ask you quickly.
Yeah.
Look, for those of us guys that are never going to experience it, when you're the lead singer of a worldwide hit band, whether it's solo, whether it's the Babies, and you're uncommitted, is it what we regular common guys like to think? Are you just knocking out 5-6 pieces of pussy every single night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. What else you got?
John,
I know.
John,
I'm just talking to you. I do. It's great. It's great to talk to you again. I mean, since you've been away, it's been kind of like very quiet around here.
well, Johnny, look, it's as I told you, you've got to come see us.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And on behalf of Linda, thank you so much for being our very first guest. We love you, and we want to see you
too.
soon.
I love you both. You're a beautiful couple, great kids, man. You know, all-time favorite people in the universe. God bless you.
Johnny, his new album is Rough and Tumble. Grab a copy and enjoy. Johnny, we'll speak soon.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye, John.
See ya.
Bye-bye, Linda. Bye-bye.
All right, we will come back and set up tomorrow's program right after this. This is the Mark and Linda Podcast. Wait, I've got to play a promo, but it's on the same pot. Hang on a second. Pull that down and do that.
Mark and Linda Podcast is available to you in several ways. First, maybe you're getting us on iTunes. Great. But if you're enjoying the show and would like it on a daily basis without the hassle of daily downloading, just go to markandlinda.us and register. We'll send you the podcast each day right to your inbox, and you don't have to do a thing, and it's free. That's Mark with a K and Linda with a Y. When you get to the site, you'll enjoy what thousands of members already are. The completely interactive Mark and Linda website is completely interactive. Upload your favorite photos, video, chime in on existing blogs and chat rooms, or start your own. The Mark and Linda website brings you the latest news and information about the show, and you are more than welcome to join. The Mark and Linda Podcast, helping you one relationship at a time. And now, back to...
Reasons I love him so much is that he's an open book. I mean, you ask him a question, he answers it. And John is just... I love him to death. I really, really do. Well, this was just a blast, was it not?
It was.
And are you aware that we did this and we never left our home?
Well, usually my work is at home, so this is nothing new for me.
I had to leave my home.
Yeah, Jordan did. And he wasn't gone that long. He left here at 9:30 last night and was back here at 9 o'clock this morning.
I was up working until 2.
And Norm hasn't left the house at all since Monday.
I find it odd that Norm, during the actual broadcast, left the room.
No, well, he's been in and out. He's close by. He's probably drinking some wine.
Because I don't think he had any last night. Jordan, did we... we didn't... Okay, look, we got busy with the first show.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the John and Mark picture.
All right, we will do that. We're going to have to get John back on tomorrow. Jordan, we need to talk to John again tomorrow. We forgot to do that.
We're just going to talk to John every day.
We'll talk to John tomorrow because we've got the captions that were written.
Wait, has John seen the picture?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He saw the photograph.
Okay.
So we'll get John back on real quickly tomorrow, and we'll read the top 5 and let John pick the one that makes him laugh the most. And we also have to give away the Mark and Linda coffee mug to the person who guessed closest, and we ran out of time, and we'll do that. Guaranteed, we'll do that tomorrow. What else, Jordan? All right, tomorrow, we do want to thank again Diane and Lee. Didn't expect... Did you know Lee was going to come on?
No.
Wow. That's very cool. They were our first relationship scenario, and we'll speak with Diane hopefully in a couple of months with a good update. Tomorrow, we're going to speak with, in our relationship issues, we're going to speak with Nick. Nick got a girl pregnant. They barely knew each other. He married her. They got married. 10 years now. They do have children. He's completely unhappy.
Uh-oh.
And he doesn't know what to do.
Uh-oh.
I'm in hopes that we can speak with her because my guess is she's as unhappy as he is.
When I spoke to him a second time, and he said to me he doesn't want to come off as negative when he wrote that. He really wants to make this work. He wants what John was talking about.
All right, well, at some point, can we talk to Nick and see if maybe she'll go on with us as well?
Sure.
Because it doesn't even have to be tomorrow, but we'll do it. What have I missed, Jordan? iTunes, things, stuff. We'll get them all tomorrow, right?
Let me...
Oh.
My mic on, I'll hit up the...
Hang on. Go ahead.
Just to remind everyone again, we're going to have the show. It'll take me some time to do all the processing, but I'll get the recording of the show up on the website. That'll be available for download. We're going to have the file available to manually add the show to your iTunes, just as if you went through the iTunes store. We're still waiting on Apple to put that up for us. So it's up to them, unfortunately. So it could be in 5 minutes, it could be in 5 days.
Well, there's a lot of work that's been going on here trying to get this first show up. And we know that there's issues, there's things, and we're going to get them all fixed. Everything will be dealt with. It just sometimes it takes time for this kind of stuff. Later on this week, we will get to know Jordan Ryan. We periodically will have wonderful guests. I don't think anybody's ever going to be as good as John was.
Me either.
Because John is just the best. Mrs. T, you guys have no idea how petrified Linda has been about doing this. I'm going to tell you, you Miss Thing in your pink chair, you did a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you, honey, because, this is all very strange to me.
You've never done it. Of course
No,
it is.
Yeah. So, and I did pretty good about not stepping on you today.
You did great.
Yeah. So
Now,
oh, here we go. I'm working on that.
I thought you did great today. Now, you wound up not saying anything.
Well, but what am I going to say while you and John are talking?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some but there's going to be a lot of guests we're going to have where you'll have a lot to say.
And then I do have to tell you that you talk a lot. You don't even pause for me to say anything.
I'm going to completely switch gears because I just remembered about the Ustream.
Oh.
I want to remind everyone that, again, we will never ask you to pay for this show. We want it to be free and available and enjoyable to everyone. We are having a meeting after this show to get rid of the ads that Ustream randomly puts in to our stream. They will be gone as soon as we can physically get them out of there. I'm hoping in 15 minutes they'll be gone.
Wait, is there a meeting and nobody told me?
I don't even know about a
Yeah,
meeting.
like I would even go to the meeting.
Executive decision.
This is the Mark and Linda podcast. It is every weekday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We will see you back here tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
So, that's the Mark and Linda podcast. They'll be back with another one tomorrow. You can listen to it live, or you can have it shot like Cupid's arrow right into your inbox. Would you like that? Just go to markandlinda.us. That's Mark with a K, Linda with a Y. Sign up. It takes about 60 seconds if you're slow, and get the podcast delivered to you fresh, daily, like a hot bagel smeared with love. And if you want to talk about or get help with your relationship, just click on the big orange button that says Request Help from Mark and Linda, and you can choose to either go on the air with them or leave your situation in writing. Until next time, this is Stu, and whatever you're doing, do it with a smile, or at least a smirk.